Okay, so next I want to talk to you about tying your horse to a trailer, to a tree, whichever. First of all, let me just mention, I don't have a tree here obviously to show you, but when you tie a horse to a tree, always make sure that you tie that lead as high as you possibly can reach. And don't let a loop fall below your horse's chest level. Okay, so and maybe just a little bit more. Maybe enough so he can barely get to the ground, his nose to the ground, but that's all, because typically a horse will, I mean, you've seen it. You leave a horse to his own devices after a little bit and they're going to get themselves into trouble. And tying a horse too low on a tree, let me just tell you, is an accident waiting to happen. They will turn, they'll get themselves caught up in that rope, and they'll panic or they'll fall over. I've seen it happen. So always tie as high as you can, and then don't let that loop hang down too low. But a couple of ways I want to show you to tie. If you don't have a clip or something when you're tying to your trailer, a couple of ways that I like to tie is maybe run 3.5 to 4 feet maximum from your halter to your trailer. And this is the way I prefer to do if I don't have a clip, is I'll run a loop through, and from the tail, of course this is the lead part that's going to my halter, with the tail I'm just going to run that tail up into that hole, that loop I created, and continue to run loops inside of the loops until I've picked up the tail off the ground. You don't want your lead hanging on the ground. And then I'll lock it off by just pulling the tail all the way through that loop. Okay, so my horse can play with this, which they will, but they're not going to undo it and pull themselves completely free. Now my horse, this loop will tighten up, and of course it can. If they pull some, it can pull through here a little bit. But I can come, if my horse is pulling back and I need to break him free quickly, pull your tail through the loop. Those loops are going to come undone quickly and easily. Now watch this knot. When I give it a yank, it comes completely free. Okay. Also, another reason I prefer a 14-foot lead. No shorter than 12, but I think up 14 feet, 13, 14 feet is ideal. Horses need to get, if they're spooking about something, they need to get between 6 and 10 feet away before they're going to, feel comfortable enough to snort, blow, stand still, and look at what they were afraid of before they start using the thinking side of their brain and reasoning that, hey, it's not such a bad thing, and they come back in. If I've got an 8-foot lead or a 10-foot lead, that horse can spook and either pull me, give me a rope burn, or pull that lead completely out of my hands altogether. So a nice soft 14-foot lead is preferable. Another way to tie your horse off here, if you don't have a clip. Now you can take the tail of your lead, you can run it right through the eye of your trailer tie, and let me just go to, once again, about a 3.5 foot, maybe 4 foot lead extension to my halter. And what I'm going to do with the end that's connected to my halter here, I'm just going to run a loop, just going to make a loop here, take the tail, and I'm going to wrap this tail 2 loops around the neck of that loop. And then I'm going to push a loop. Once again, sounds funny, but I'm just making loops here. I'm just doing a loop and a loop. Another loop through here. I'm going to run it through, pick my lead up off the ground, run the tail through the last loop, and here we go. So my horse can pull on this. It's stationary. It's not going to give me a knot up here at my trailer tie. And if my horse spooks, I can pull this lead, pull the tail out. I can keep pulling these loops free, and once again, there we go. So I can break that knot free, and he can get free. The only reason I don't necessarily like this one is I don't want to have to hassle with trying to pull this through, and that's why most of the time I do this system where it can actually break free. And those are the 2 ways that I typically will tie a horse to a trailer if I don't have a clip. Now, the other 2 ways that you've seen also, probably the blocker tie ring. Okay, the blocker tie ring made by Dan Blocker. I'm sorry, I believe it's Ted Blocker. Give due credit here, but you've probably seen these. They're quite popular. and I like it. It's a great system. This is the mag lock. The one I would recommend is the magnet version. Stainless steel, extremely strong. But these are about $40. They're a little pricey. You know, if you have 4 horses, you got to buy 4 of them. That's $160 for a system to tie 4 horses to your trailer, right? So it's a little pricey, but they are worth it. It's a great system, easy to use. You're just taking your loop, running it through the hole, use the mag lock stopper, and here you go. A nice system, puts a little bit of tension on that lead. If I think my horse is going to pull back and that's too much, too loose, I can break that stopper, run another loop over the back. Now I've got double the tension, and he can still pull back and get some, feel confident or comfortable that he can get some space if he needs it. All right. Maybe if I have a horse that has a problem tying, what I might even do is just put a knot in the end of my lead. Because if in fact this horse gets 14 feet away, there's a 14-foot lead, this knot is going to run up here and it's not going to go through. 14 feet is plenty of room for him to be away from the trailer, away from whatever's spoking him. I just don't want him to break free and run. Okay, so that's just another little safety tip there if you want to run that through. By the way, these are my new lead ropes with the knotted rawhide on the end of your weighted 14-foot lead. All right, so that's just another way to tie to your trailer if you have a blocker tie ring. Now another system I like real well is the safe clip. Let me show you how the safe clip version works. The safe clip, I'll admit I was a little skeptical at first until I ordered a few of these and started using them. And the more I use it, the more I like it. Number one thing I like about it is the cost. It's you know, you'll find these on my website. They're $24.95 instead of $40, right? $40 plus shipping. So these are $24.95. You can pick up 4 of them for $99, pick up 2 of them for $49, or 1 for $24.95. So first thing, cost, and we're all looking for ways to save money these days. But it's a very easy system. Let me show you how this one works here. So once again, it's very similar. You have this comes with a screw here, a tensioner screw. So let me show you. You just run a loop through the eye of the safe clip over the top, and there you have. That's the first stage or level of tension. Okay, so this is probably the loosest setting for tension. If I want to tighten it up slightly more, I'll run it in this slot. Okay, and it's just a little bit more tension. Now if I still feel like I need some more tension, I can, the top of the screw has a nice wide flat head on it, and I can run that screw up here to increase the tension. So now if he wants to pull back, it's slightly, you know, it's a little bit more difficult for him to pull through the clip. So, you know, if I want to tighten it up, I can do that. If I want to loosen it, so I can control the tension very easily there. I like that system. A couple of other things. I trailer my horses everywhere I go. I use the safe clip inside the trailer, of course on the outside as well. They double as a great tool for hanging buckets on your trailer as well. Let's say if I've got a horse in the trailer and I'm using the safe clip and I'd like to leave the safe clip in, all you do is I'll unclip, I'll push one end up over the head of the clip, flip it on there again, and then just break free. And I can walk my horse right off that trailer. Okay? So the safe clip, just the latest version of safe ways to tie your horse. I really like the safe clip, and not that I like the blocker tie ring any less, because I really like these as well. It's just you know, they're a little pricey, $40 versus $24.95. So anyways, choose a system you like. I cannot recommend enough that you use a tie system like this and not necessarily tie to the trailer like I showed you at first, only if you have to. And I hope these couple of systems I've shown you will help you the next time you go to tie your horse to a trailer. But pick up a set of these for yourself. Maybe leave some in the trailer, have some you keep on the outside. And once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the website. And remember, any day horseback or spent with your horse is a great day. Thanks a lot.